Hey guys, I'll do a quick unboxing of this Dayton Audio's B452-AIR. I basically picked them up because I want to do a project with the tweeter. It's air motion transformer technology. It's basically a thick film tweeter that's been folded over and there's a magnet in the back, and they're supposed to sound pretty good, so I basically wanted the speaker for that. There are a few things I don't like about it, which I'll share in a minute once we unbox it. All I'm going to say is they should have put a warning sticker on the box or on these speakers when it comes to the covers on the front, which would be these things here. These obviously this is Polk Audio. It's got magnets. These ones do not, and I will show you what happened when I pulled them off. So you get at least you get a set of wires. Not high end by any means for $70. The box looks like on the inside. Now I've already opened them up and just have a quick look at it, make sure they weren't destroyed in shipping. But that's basically what they look like. Now the thing that gets me is that they can call those bookshelf speakers. I mean, I always considered this size bookshelf. That's pretty small. Though they have the hook on the back, I would definitely recommend them for like maybe a surround sound if you need extra speakers. Let's see, 30 watts, 8 ohms. Frequency response is 85 to 20 megahertz to kilohertz. Yeah. Anyway, it says a QS pass. The issue I have with them is these front covers for one, which I'll show you. Now when you take these front covers off, be very, very careful with them because they're made out of a press board and they're like super thin right there. Now when I first took them out of the box, I just pulled this off here and I grabbed it right here, which was a mistake because the minute I pulled up, it snapped here and here, and I'm pretty sure it's this one here. But I mean, I can see you're trying to cut corners, but why make it out of press board? Or that stuff is garbage. You guys could use this, and it would have been probably the same price, and it could take a little bit more abuse. You know what I mean? It's just plastic. So that's one thing I dislike about even cheap speakers. Would be that. I think this is the one I broke. Oh yeah, it's broken. But for now, it's holding together. Anyway, so that's what they look like. I'm not going to go into any kind of sound check or anything like that because YouTube will just strike it down or find something wrong with that. I can tell you right away that there can't be much insulation in the box itself because when you tap the driver, it doesn't really sound too deep. It sounds hollow, but that's just my opinion. Usually when I tap a driver like that, the sound it makes, I can usually, guarantee I can guess what it's going to sound like when you power it up. Maybe I'll hook it up to the Techniques and we'll see what it sounds like real quick. I'll find something. But I bought them for the tweeters. They're going to be using another project. Oh, they're nice. The issue I have with these is when I went to buy them on Amazon, just to buy these tweeters alone would cost me more than buying the whole box. So I actually saved a couple of dollars by buying the boxes. So I could probably use them for another project. But they got nice rubber feet on the bottom. I'm not a big fan of those. The hook is nice. I've seen cheaper boxes. At least they're that thick. They could have been thinner. And then you got your driver. I think what we're going to do is just take the screws out of one of them and see what it looks like on the inside. Yeah. Well, wow, those boxes are extremely thin. At least there is some kind of support in there. That's just to basically keep it from cracking on the corners. I can see this cracking or separating here pretty easily. So they've taken care of that. There's a block here, here, and there, and there. There is a little bit of foam in there. Not much. Oh, why even bother, guys? Come on. That's not going to make a difference. Wow. More supports. That one over there. You can see that. Get some light in there. I don't even see the point of that support. It's not even glued in properly. But it's a $70 speaker. At least that one there is good. And then you get your crossover, which is basically a power resistor and a capacitor. And they've basically duped and glued the terminals right in there. I'll dig those out. Everything is soldered in. I mean, that's not bad. I've seen worse. Let's get that out and take a look at the back. I didn't even notice that. Check that out, eh? You don't see that on the more expensive ones. Anyway, there we go. Well, it's got some weight to it. There's a lot of magnets on the back. And I think, yeah, it's got steel on the back. So that's a half-decent tweeter. A ribbon tweeter, or air tweeter as they call it. And that, I think the only thing protected here would be the tweeter. I don't think the subwoofer. Yeah, the subwoofer goes direct to the terminals. The capacitor and the resistor are for the tweeter, by the looks of it. And the tweeter's nice. It's got some kind of rubbery coating on it, which is kind of cool. Good, because that's what I paid for. I paid for that. I don't really care about any of this. But I figured I would make a quick video. If you're thinking of buying these, I mean, I wouldn't buy them as bookshelf speakers. They're too small for that. They're good for like surround, if you need a set of those. Or maybe a kid that's maybe a dorm. A dorm would be great because, you know, you're partying in a little room there and you destroy or throw your speakers and smash them, which wouldn't be uncalled. That you wouldn't feel guilt the next day because these are only $70. So I'm going to throw it back together and maybe we'll run some sound through them and just see if they how they actually sound. Well, here goes nothing. This is from their actual library, so please don't hit me with a copyright strike. You can really hear the air tweeters. Surprisingly, they got more bass than like sleeper speakers. They don't look like they have much sound to them, but they actually sound pretty good considering their size, and there's no port on them, obviously. Yeah, I mean I'd use them as a surround, but I'd never buy them as for house speakers. But anyway, I figured I'd share that. They're not bad. One thing, like I found this too thin. This could be made out of plastic, and if it was me, I'd put a little bit more insulation. And be careful when you take these screws out here. Not this one so much, but the wood is so thin on these screws, and these screws are so big that even if you take them out, you go to put them back in, they're going to keep turning. 3 of them are doing that already, and I basically didn't give any force or anything. So the wood is way too thin for this size of screws. Just be forewarned before you take it apart. The only way to fix that would be to take the screw out, put some wood glue in there, and some slivers of wood, and then when it's dry, you can trim it off, and you can put the screws back in. But this wood is way too thin for those type of screws. They should have used these small self tappers on the subwoofer. But there you go.